Welcome back to No Shot Sports. And this week we got a mock. First off, we don't got Matt this week. He's got a whole lot of stuff to do for school, but it's all good. We can roll with two. We got our mock like we teased a couple episodes ago. We didn't do it last week because we had the special guest on. Also, thank you to him for being on again. But this week we got a full first round mock. As you guys can see, we are on the draftnetwork.com. But I know Dan wants to say something before we get started.
Yeah, I got to give a quick shout out to all my Gumps down in Alabama, specifically Blake, Brad, Vinny, and Cruz. You guys know who you are. Thank you so much for all your love and support. And can't wait to see what happens as this podcast goes down the road.
Man, we love the Gumps on the podcast.
We love the Gumps.
Yeah, but I want to give a quick shout out to the NFL as a whole. A big announcement for me. I'm going to be at the draft volunteering with the NFL. Just a good thing to put on my resume. It's nothing really special. But while I'm at the draft, Dan is going to be live streaming the draft. Just a little plug for him. I'll have his Twitter's always in the description, as you know, the rest of us, the other hosts. But I'm sure he'll tweet out some updates about when he's drafting, you know, when he's gonna do his live reactions. But he'll have me on quick standby if he wants to get a little reaction from me for some players.
And you know what, Danny? I was going to talk about this because I'm not entirely sure if I can, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I also got to give a shout out to Kevin, Belly Up Kevin. I was just accepted for a social media position for a summer intern with Belly Up Sports, and I'm really excited to get started on that this summer.
Big congrats, bro. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
But we had a lot of shout outs to do at the start of the pod. We might as well shout out everybody else, but we're not going to do that. We're going to get straight into this mock draft because I know it's going to take a little bit and we don't want to waste your time. So we both got this draft network pulled up, but we're only going to share my screen at the time. At the end, we're going to compare our two drafts. But number one, I think we both know Trevor Lawrence is going number one. There's no need to waste time talking about the pick.
Debate there. Trevor
just
Lawrence
because
first overall.
He's the best quarterback prospect I've seen in forever of me following college sports. But since Andrew Luck, you know, he's absolutely amazing. I was in class today and my sports broadcaster teacher said he can have a Peyton Manning like career, which honestly I could definitely see if Jacksonville puts a good team around him.
Maybe. Yeah, it all depends on how Jacksonville builds around him.
Exactly.
That successfully. I mean, we saw the line that Peyton Manning had in his time with Indianapolis.
Yeah, exactly. Number two, Zach Wilson's my pick. Zach Wilson, in my opinion, could be the best quarterback in the draft. And I really like his game. I remember earlier in the season, he was projected to be a late first, early second guy. And I was just praying he was going to drop to the Steelers because I loved his upside. And then he went crazy and now he's number two overall. So there's nothing you can do about that. But just like Trevor Lawrence, there's no deliberation with the pick. Maybe you can talk me into Justin Fields, but I doubt it.
I mean, the only way I can see them taking Justin Fields is just because that'd be such a New York Jet thing to do. Is because, I mean, in my opinion, Justin Fields is the bigger name of the two, probably just because, you know, Fields took that Buckeye team to the national championship this past season.
Yeah. But in my opinion, Justin Fields is a great quarterback. The top four quarterbacks could all be absolute superstars in the league, but Fields is QB4 for me.
Right.
But also he's been showing out at his pro days, like absolutely phenomenal. So I guess you'll never know until they show up in the league and do their thing. Like, you know, Justin Herbert wasn't projected to be an absolute superstar, but
probably one of the best moves that the Chargers could have made.
100%. And probably you could argue that he's a top 12 quarterback in the league just straight after his rookie year.
Probably.
There's an argument. But at number three, this would not be my personal pick. I don't think this would be anybody's personal pick for me. I don't know if Dan's got the same thing, but I got Mac Jones going number three.
Yes, Danny, I do. Mac Jones, third overall to San Francisco.
I mean, like, San Francisco runs such a similar system to Ohio State, so I can really see Justin Fields going. But there was so much talk about the Niners taking Mac Jones at number three that I just really think it's going to happen.
I would say that they run a more similar offense, though, to what Nick Saban runs.
Well, I mean, they run a lot of play action. They run a lot of backfield motion offense.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is a lot of Ohio State.
I feel like Mac Jones can be a decent fit in there, but just even if it's play action heavy,
Mhm.
don't be surprised when he slings it down the field.
Oh, 100%. But I think Mac Jones at best is going to be a solid quarterback in the league. But I don't think he's going to be an absolute. I don't think he's going to be like an all-pro quarterback. I think that's the best way to describe it.
I just, San Fran definitely takes a quarterback here. That's not even not even a debate. But do you think that they hold on to Garoppolo and make it a competition, or do you think they trade Garoppolo for somebody on the line or for a corner?
Well, they said that Garoppolo's their starter this year, but they can say whatever they want. I think if they take a quarterback here and he shows out, if like Garoppolo sits out a game and he shows out, they might look to shop him, and they could shop him for maybe a couple picks. Nothing crazy, because you saw what Sam Darnold just got traded for, and in my opinion, Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I would say so. Yeah.
Plus, he's younger, so he's more
Yeah.
valuable. But you also
Mhm.
saw what Matt Stafford got traded for, so I think Jimmy Garoppolo may be somewhere in the middle. Who knows? But I don't know how much they'd get for him if they did decide to trade him. It's not like Madden where you're getting 3 first round picks for an 80 overall quarterback.
Right.
Exactly. Number 4, I think this might be where our boards differ a little bit. This wasn't my first pick. I had Atlanta taking a quarterback at 4 if they don't trade out, but I think I'm gonna switch it up and I'm gonna go Kyle Pitts at 4.
Atlanta was definitely one of those 50-50 for me. Um, I got to think about what they're weaker in, but then you also got to think about what exactly, because is it time for Atlanta to start prepping for the future? Because I feel like they haven't made any certain move that's like, all right, it's time for a rebuild, or okay, it's time to get back into that win now mentality. Um, it was 50-50 between Pitts, but I think it's gonna be Trey Lance from
Oh,
North Dakota
okay.
State.
Okay, you're going Trey Lance as 4th QB off the board.
Right.
Gotcha.
I
That's
would not be surprised though if they take Pitts. I don't know. I don't know if Atlanta's done with Matt Ryan. That's up for them to decide.
mhm.
I personally think they could write him out for maybe a season or two more. So I really wouldn't be surprised if they take Pitts.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Lance here.
Yeah, in my opinion, Kyle Pitts is the biggest playmaker in this draft. He's probably the most NFL ready. Um, like I saw a video where it showed how bad of a quarterback Kyle Trask is, showed how good of a tight end that Kyle Pitts is. Because Kyle Pitts went up and caught absolutely uncatchable balls from Kyle Trask, and it made him shine as the clear cut best weapon in the draft, not even just best tight end.
Right.
And maybe if he had a better quarterback, maybe he wouldn't be this highly touted as a prospect. But I mean, you just got to look at what he could do. He can line up on the outside as a receiver, and with that, next to Julio and Calvin Ridley, there's not many defenses in the league that are going to stop that.
Mhm.
It would just give Atlanta a huge another weapon for Matt Ryan to throw to and maybe make another push. I mean, they still definitely need some secondary help, which I mean, in this draft, there's no secondary that's going to go this early, but
No.
I think it's just a great pick overall. But to number 5, I have with Kyle Pitts off the board, I have the Bengals taking Penny Sewell. Need a body to protect Joe Burrow, and he's the most raw, but has the highest upside out of any tackle in the draft.
Yep. Did you see everybody's excuse me, everybody's making jokes about like tell me who the Bengals are taking without telling me who the Bengals are taking, and it's that picture that they have of their new uniforms, and Joe Burrow is sitting with like one leg folded over the other, and you see the scar from his surgery.
Oh,
So I mean, it kind of makes you really, I don't think they take, because there are a lot of people thinking that they could have taken a wide receiver with this
mhm.
pick, but I think you got to get somebody to protect Joe Burrow, especially after what happened last season.
Exactly. And I don't think they're really in the position to take a receiver. I mean, I do have a receiver going next. I think everybody's got a receiver going next, but I just think it's a lot more important to protect your quarterback of the future than to give him a weapon right now. As tempting as it is to match up Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, you really got to look at his health more than how fun the field's going to look.
Right.
It's a boring pick, but it's one that's very necessary.
Absolutely.
But like I said, I got a receiver going next, and I'm going Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Um, the most talented receiver. I mean, he's crazy. You see, I think we were talking about it on another podcast. His little waist push off, or maybe it was after a podcast when we were just chilling talking.
It might have been.
But Jamar Chase has this little move where on a corner he'll push off, but by the waist, and no NFL referee is going to call that as an offensive PI. That just gives him another aspect to his game that makes him absolutely crazy as a prospect. This his mind. And I mean, sitting out this year, it didn't help his draft stock. Maybe it boosts guys like Jaylen Waddle or Devonte Smith, maybe over him. But I think it's a 1A, 1B, 1C receiver class. So no matter where you go, if you're getting one of the top three, you're not going wrong.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I feel like I was very long winded about Jamar Chase. But another guy I'm very long winded about is my favorite player in the draft, Jaylen Waddle, who I have going at number 7 to the Lions.
Right.
It's a tempting pick. I feel like they can maybe go Justin Fields there. I'm not high on Jared Goff, but also they just traded for him, and they traded Matt Stafford to get him. So I mean, he's a Detroit legend because everybody loves Matt Stafford. But I think you can't go into the season having Quintez Cephus as your best wide receiver. You know what I mean? You're not even having a chance to make the playoffs that way. You're not even having a chance to win a game that way.
And going back to that, that 1A, 1B, 1C of this of the receivers in this draft, I feel like Waddle gets the higher pick over, Devonte Smith, the Heisman winner. I think it's just simply because of height. I feel like Devonte Smith can play on the same level as Jaylen Waddle, obviously, but I feel like Waddle being a little bit taller is what's going to give him the higher pick over Smith.
In my opinion, Jaylen Waddle is just a better prospect than Smith. I mean, Smith has concerns with weight, and I don't really see that. I mean, no NFL receiver really sees that. You don't have to be
He's a
huge.
Slim Reaper.
Exactly. He's the NFL Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Also, if we're not going to Dan on some picks, it's because we agree.
Yeah.
I know I've been long winded, and he's just like, yeah, for some of these picks.
Well,
But
yeah, I mean,
it's because we agree.
Besides Atlanta, we've had the same pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jaylen Waddle, in my opinion, is wide receiver 1A. And it's a
Yeah.
very close 1A, 1B with him and Jamar Chase, but he's 1A for me. But at number 8, another non-flashy pick. I'm going Rashaan Slater. It's one of the biggest needs on the Panthers team, and Rashaan Slater is one of the best tackles in the draft, quite obviously. He's probably the most NFL ready tackle in the draft. But Penn does have more upside, which is why I have him going 5.
Yeah, I took Slater here too, and that's because after getting Sam Darnold, the next best thing that you need is something to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Slater is the best pick here for Carolina.
They also only have one decent guard on their team,
right,
which is Taylor Moton, who just got franchise tagged. So, I mean, having a good offensive tackle on a rookie deal is going to help out a lot. At number 9, this is the end of the fall for Justin Fields. I have him going number 9. I mean, he's recently been showing out an absolute ton, but if he falls to number 9, the Broncos must take a quarterback in this draft, no matter who it is. If a top 5 is there at number 9, you take him.
Yeah, Fields is definitely getting taken at the 9 spot, especially to Denver. I mean, look at some of the Broncos quarterbacks since Peyton Manning. I mean, who do we have? We had Brock Osweiler,
Tim Tebow. Don't forget that.
That's true.
That was before Manning, though.
Did Joe Flacco ever have a full season?
Not a full season, but he had some starts.
I remember he had some. Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, it was traded, right? I forget who the other half of the trade was.
Was he traded?
I
don't remember.
Sworn he was traded.
I mean, Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback, so.
And I feel like there's one more guy that I can't remember off the top of my head.
I mean, they got Drew Lock. He's so.
They have Drew Lock. Is Drew Lock effective? No.
He was my fantasy quarterback for a little bit. That's how bad my fantasy team was for a while. But Justin Fields is the clear-cut pick here. They need a quarterback that can move, that can be a playmaker. At number 10, we have the Cowboys. I feel like there could be some deliberation in this pick. They need all of secondary. They could use maybe a defensive lineman. But I have them going Patrick Surtain. Patrick Surtain's a great corner. In my opinion, the second best corner in the draft, but Caleb Farley has injury concerns. So that's the reason that he's going to fall down my board a little bit, which makes sense because, there's a, surgeons have said that there's a 80% chance that he comes back perfectly fine. And there's a 20% chance that he needs a whole nother surgery. So you're not going to waste a top 10 pick on a guy that may just be out again with another surgery.
Yeah, no.
But Patrick Surtain is a great corner. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, there's actually I don't know if you saw it, Danny, but I got a notification the other day saying that Dallas is like willing to listen to trade offers for that number 10 spot. I think and the Giants, I think today at the time that we're recording this, I think the Giants, or maybe it was yesterday, the Giants said that they would be willing to listen to options for the 11th overall pick. I personally don't think 10 and 11 are going anywhere, but especially Dallas, they can't give up that 10. They need to start building a defense now if they want to have any chance at their next goal should be to win the division, because I don't think they're doing that this season.
I think they are, especially if Dak is healthy. But I mean, your best corner right now is Trevon Diggs, who, don't get me wrong, is decent. He didn't have the best rookie year, but I mean, he showed flashes. But you can't go into a season with your best corner being Trevon Diggs. Just the same way you can't go into the season with your best receiver being Quintez Cephus.
Right.
Like, nothing against those guys. They
No.
had pretty solid rookie seasons respectively, but like you just can't they can't be one options at their position. Not yet, at least. The Giants pick I could definitely see getting traded down because they could really really use an edge, and I don't see an edge. There may be one edge that I'm very much debating right now. That's why I'm stalling on announcing who my 11 was going to be. Because I'm debating on if I want to change it right now. But
Oh
Dan,
yeah.
yeah, you want to bring us in with 11?
Of course. I mean, they're my team. I've got now, there's a number of people that you can take with this pick. You could take Micah Parsons from Penn State. You can take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. I don't think they take an edge here.
Mhm.
I saw a couple of mocks saying that they would take Gregory Rousseau. I don't think they take an edge here. They have, I think, the 10th overall pick in the second round.
Mhm.
And I think that they're going to be able to get a decent edge there if they really want to. We saw them get Kenny Golladay in the offseason. I think they add Devonte Smith to that wide receiving core. So
Indeed.
you've got all the targets for Daniel Jones now is starting off with Kenny Golladay. You've got Darius Slayton. You've got Sterling Shepard. You'll now have Devonte Smith, and you'll have two tight ends in Kyle Rudolph and
Evan Ingram.
Evan Engram. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Devonte Smith is my original pick here. But really thinking about their receiver core, it's do they need another receiver? That's the whole
They
thing.
don't,
Which
but
I think it would very much help another receiver.
yeah.
But also a guy who I'm thinking about here is Trey Lance. Maybe I don't think Daniel Jones is that good.
What?
I don't think Daniel Jones is that good of a player, which the past few seasons I've wanted him to be because I got a lot of sports cards up here. These are all filled with sports cards. My best pull I've ever pulled is a 1 of 1 Daniel Jones rookie auto. Um, and before I sold it, I was so high on him, and then I sold it, and now I'm much more realistic about his potential. And I just don't see him being the number one quarterback on a potential Super Bowl winning team. I don't see that coming out of him, and I do see that coming out of Trey Lance. But I also see the value in Jalen Phillips at this spot. Jalen Phillips, in my opinion, is the best edge in the draft. Um, and I'm kind of trying to talk myself into that pick, but I don't know if I could talk myself into that over Devonte Smith.
You have him as the number one edge. Interesting.
I
We'll
think I
see.
think he's the best. I didn't have him as the number one edge off my mock. Actually, never mind, I did, but I had him much later. But I think
I'm not gonna tell you what team, but I'll tell you I've got him going late first round.
I'm gonna go Jalen Phillips here. I think I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, make it a little bit more interesting to listen to, but I can also very much see that happening in real life. Um, Coming out of Miami, he showed a lot of I just completely forgot what I was gonna say. But Jalen Phillips is my pick here. Um, Dan, you want to bring us into number 12?
Yeah,
Or
number
nah?
12, my division rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. And boy, oh boy, have they made some moves this offseason. Obviously, the biggest one being that they trade Carson Wentz over to Indianapolis.
They traded their 6th overall pick.
Right. To Miami.
Yeah.
Um, Now, obviously, one of the biggest needs I feel like for the Eagles is a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't have a wide receiver being taken here. And just to remind the listeners at home, I still don't have Kyle Pitts taken at this point yet. Pitts could get taken here potentially. Zach Ertz, I've heard many rumors that he could potentially get traded.
Ertz
I
is
don't know what
gone. Ertz is definitely gone.
is he. He's not officially gone though.
No,
It's
but
kind of
he's gone. Like he's gonna get traded.
right,
He's gone.
right.
He might get
So they,
cut.
they
Like
they could take him. They could take Pitts to replace Ertz. But I
mhm.
actually think that they take a cornerback here. More specifically, I think they take J.C. Horn out of South Carolina here.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick, especially for them. He's a great his college, South Carolina, they ran a lot of zone, which he's great in zone, but he's a very good man press corner. And I feel like in Philly, they could definitely use that. Plus, who's their number one corner right now? Is it Bryce Hall? Is
Uh,
Bryce Hall? Uh, I'm tempted to look it up, but I don't want to see some TikTok.
is
Let me pull it up. Because I'm pretty sure Bryce Hall is on the Eagles, and I'm pretty sure he's like their only corner on roster.
is Darius Slay technically not a cornerback?
Darius?
Darius Slay.
Is he on the Eagles now?
Yeah, not Darius Slayton. Darius Slay.
Oh my.
I know it's literally a difference of 3 letters. Ton.
Oh, Bryce Hall's on the Jets. That's why I was thinking about him. I was gonna bring him up later for the Jets. That makes a lot of sense.
Because
I don't know.
Slay
My brain stopped working for a second.
Slay had a good season last year, in my opinion. At least good first half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look that up really
Yeah,
quick.
you looked that up.
Yeah.
But like you said, a big need for them is wide receiver. And if I have Devonte Smith dropping here, I think they have to take him. I can't even name a receiver for their team off the top of my head. I know they got Miles Sanders. They got Jalen Hurts. Who showed out for them last year? They had a rookie receiver last year.
Really quickly, I just want. Oh yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. But really quickly, Darius Slay, in my opinion, is the best cornerback on the Eagles. I could pull that up really quickly. I know who you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure that he was like practice squad, found his way on
Jalen Reagor.
Yes.
And Travis Fulgham.
Travis Fulgham had a great season last year.
He had a great 2 games. Don't get ahead of yourself, Studer.
All right.
But I'm gonna have him taking Devonte Smith here. Heisman winner, has a lot of upside for him. And if he drops this low, Eagles gotta take him.
Probably, yeah.
13. This is the Chargers pick, and I feel like it's a very easy one. Offensive tackle, Christian Darrisaw.
I don't expect him to fall later than this, so this is where I've got Kyle Pitts.
Okay. Who is in their tight end room for the Chargers? I can't even think about it.
I mean,
why is Hunter Henry? But he's gone now.
He's gone. That's why I was just said they had Hunter Henry. They got to get somebody to replace him.
Yeah, if Kyle Pitts is the Eagles pick, I feel like the Eagles are definitely going to take him.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is where it gets interesting. Minnesota. I could see my original pick. My original mock draft, I had none of the top 5 quarterbacks left at this pick. But
so you had 5 quarterbacks going by 14.
I had 5 quarterbacks in the top 10.
Oh.
Yeah, I had my original, I had Fields at 4 and I had Lance at 9. Which is a real thing I could see. But if Mac Jones is going to get taken by the Niners, which I really do think he is, I don't think he should. Then I don't think another quarterback is going to go. Like the Falcons may take a quarterback. If they don't, the Bengals won't, the Dolphins won't, the Lions should, but they won't. The Panthers won't, and then the Bronx will.
Danny, was that the bet that I had with you and Matt? Was that if Mac Jones was that what it was? Was that Mac Jones?
It was a top 5 quarterbacks in the top 10, or 4 quarterbacks in the top 4.
I think it might have.
It was one of those two, but I could really like those are real possibilities that I could see happening. I just
We'll
didn't
have to go
have it
back and
falling
listen.
this way. Um, but I can see the possibility of the Vikings taking Trey Lance here. Kirk Cousins, he had a very solid season last year. I don't know if they're gonna just throw away what he has with Justin Jefferson and what he has with Adam Thielen. If they're just gonna throw that away to have another quarterback on the team, but I don't know if they're gonna want the Patriots to get him. You know what I mean? Any quarterback in the Patriot system is gonna be a good quarterback. I just threw my mic. Wow,
Wow. How
there
could
was
you?
something flying in my face. I just threw my mic.
Nice
Was
going.
that loud?
I mean, I, I don't know, maybe not super loud.
All right, so it was loud.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stop stalling. I'm gonna have him taking Elijah Vera Tucker here. Inside offensive line, you can definitely. He's more of a guard tackle than a guard center. Um, but I think he'd be very good, a very good fit for the Vikings.
Minnesota, I've got the first edge going in the first round here, and it's gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna be Kwity Paye out of Michigan.
Kwity Paye is very good.
Very, very good.
Um, Next Patriots. If Trey Lance is there, you take him. You need a quarterback. Not for this season, but for next.
Right.
You
Um,
agree?
I agree with the quarterback. I don't have Trey Lance lasting this long because
Oh, you
I
got
had
Mac
Trey Lance
Jones.
in the 50-50 going to Atlanta. The only really good I shouldn't say really good, but the best quarterback at this point, in my opinion, that's left is
Mac Jones.
Kyle Trask. No, Jones is going 3 to San Fran.
Oh, facts. You got Kyle Trask going. Wow, I don't even have him first round.
I mean, it depends on if they really want to take a quarterback. If not, I could see them taking somebody like
My original pick for
I could
them,
see them taking potentially Micah Parsons if they
that,
don't want to take whatever quarterback is left.
that was my original pick for them because I didn't have any quarterbacks on the board. I think the Patriots are going to trade up. Um, I think they'll really send a haul to go maybe into the top 10. Maybe if a quarterback drops to maybe the Panthers pick, they trade up with the Panthers.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like I can see the Patriots moving up. But
I
at
could see them
16,
trading, especially with Atlanta.
yeah, I could definitely. If any team's going to trade with Atlanta, it's either going to be the Broncos, which would make no sense to me because you're going to get a quarterback there, or yeah, like we said, New England.
And I know that Trask isn't the greatest quarterback, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was something in him that Bill Belichick sees and is like, that's my guy. I could be completely wrong, but it's just what I think
It's
New
a gut
England would
feeling.
use. Yeah,
I got you. But at 16, Arizona needs a corner. Um, Deliberation between J.C. Horn and Caleb Farley is a lot, but I think the upside of Caleb Farley drops his fall here. I'm a huge fan of Caleb Farley. He's very, very good when healthy, but that's the whole concern is he going to be healthy? But Atlanta needs to take that risk. They're not contending right now. They could be, they should be, but they're not. So they can wait a season for Caleb Farley to show who he is.
yeah. I've got Caleb Farley going here as well. They definitely need that corner position filled.
Yeah. I had to get a
We got
sip of water
Vegas now.
here. What'd you say?
We got Vegas now.
We do got Vegas now. This one's a tough pick for me because they don't need a lot of the top guys on the board. Like I could take Tevin Jenkins. I could see this stopping the fall of Micah Parsons. Um, they don't really need an edge, but I could kind of maybe see Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah here. It's just tough. Maybe Trayvon Morig.
Danny, I don't know if this is gonna surprise you. I've got back-to-back Virginia Tech going here, and I think that Vegas takes Christian Darrisaw.
Oh, Christian Darrisaw. I like him. I think he's good. He goes. I'm just trying to scroll down to see where he is on the predictive board here. Christian Darrisaw. I can't find his name, but I think he's a very,
He was
very
at the
good player.
top for me.
Was he?
Maybe like a little bit of a scroll down. He wasn't that far down.
Yeah, I can't find him. Am I thinking of the wrong guy?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm 100% thinking of the wrong guy.
All right.
But whatever. Yeah, he's a scroll for me. Oh, I was looking at Christian Barmore. That's what I was thinking of.
Mm.
But Darisaw, yeah, I don't even see him on my board. Oh wait, I'm so stupid. It's because I had
Yeah.
him going to 13. I had him going to the Chargers.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Oh,
Yeah,
he wasn't there.
that's why I couldn't find him. My brain has not been working. I literally just got out of class. But I think tackle might be the way to go here, and I'm gonna give him Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. Tevin Jenkins has a whole lot of upside. Very athletic for a tackle, can move. And I'd like to see him at the next level. I would like to see him prove himself. But at 18,
Can
um,
I take us into 18?
you can take us into whatever you want.
With the 18th overall pick from your Penn State Nittany Lions, Jason Owe.
Oh, you got Jason Owe.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jason Owe. I think Jason Owe is a great player.
I think he's that edge that Miami. I feel like, and I'm not just saying it because it's the top two team needs, but they need an edge, and I feel like with Quiddy gone, this is their next best bet.
Yeah, I still got Quiddy Pay on the board. But a guy who I'm really thinking of is Micah Parsons here. Micah Parsons could 100% move to the edge, in my opinion, because he's not good in coverage, not at all, not even a little bit.
Ouch, that hurts me, man.
Am I wrong? You're a Penn State fan. You go to the school. You can tell me you've seen the games. Am I wrong? Can he play in coverage? Yes or no?
I mean, I think he can.
I know he cannot. But he does excel at rushing, at rushing the backfield and getting to the quarterback. He's very good at that, and I think that's a lot of he has a high potential off the edge rather than at a interior linebacker position. But it's between him. I can see Jeremiah Wusu-Koromoa going. I can see Kwity Paye going, but I think I'm gonna give it to Kwity Paye. I had Kwity Paye falling quite some in
Quite
my
a little bit.
in no in my like original.
Oh, okay.
My original, I had him falling a ton.
Oh, wow.
This is a interesting pick for me because Washington football team definitely needs a tackle. Definitely needs a tackle. But at this point in the draft, are you going to reach on one? Best tackles left, Sam Cosmi, who I'm very high on. I love Sam Cosmi. I'm a big fan of Jaylen Mayfield. I've watched a lot of tape of him. Like I've said on another episode of the podcast, I really, really hope the Steelers take him. I don't think they will. Maybe they take a linebacker. I know there's linebackers available still. They like Michael Parsons is still here. Jeremiah Wusu-Koromoa is still here. Zaven Collins, maybe. Trayvon Mulrig, this could be a spot for him. It's a tough spot. It is definitely a tough spot. Maybe even receivers in play. Maybe, but
I don't think so, but maybe.
Who's your pick while I deliberate to myself?
Also from your Penn State Nittany Lions, this is where I've got Micah Parsons going.
I'm very much leaning on him because I don't see a tackle going here. On my original, I had Christian Darisaw here, but how I had it fall out here, he's not there. But I think I'm gonna give it to Micah Parsons also. Micah Parsons, like I said, he's not very much of a coverage guy. He's much more of a rusher. If any team is gonna take a quarterback in the first round, that's not gonna be one of the top 5. It's gonna be the Bears. I hope they don't reach on a Kyle Trask or Kellen Mond. I know they won't reach on a Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond's a day 2 guy. I love Kellen Mond, but I'm just gonna.
He's not first round.
Oh no, he's not first round.
No.
Michael Carter, also running back, North Carolina, very, 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 very good running back. Definitely has the potential to be the best value running back in the draft because he's gonna go as a day 2 guy. Value. I'm not saying best value.
Okay.
Him and Javonte Williams, but I could really see the Bears taking a tackle here, like reaching on a guy.
That's what I've got.
And you know what? I'm gonna give him Sam Cosmi. I love me some Sam Cosmi. I watched his tape a lot too. Not even gonna think about it. I'm gonna just give him Sam Cosmi. Who you got here?
I got them taking a tackle.
Okay.
I think I want to switch which tackle I had them taking.
Oh.
I originally had them taking Walker Little from Stanford.
Okay. I don't think he's a first round guy, in my opinion.
I'm going to switch that to Tevin Jenkins.
Okay.
Tevin
Okay.
Jenkins, I actually had him rated kind of low. I had him going late first round.
Yeah, I had Quiddy Pay going late first round, which I'm very sad of myself for. But I think I'm gonna switch that for another guy who I'm gonna be very sad to have later because I'm a big fan, most because of the name. The guy I originally had going 20 was Kadarius Toney, one of the better slot receivers in the draft, in my opinion. And especially if they're trading Anthony Miller, which they 100% will be, he could be a great fit. But in Indy, this was my original landing spot for Sam Cosmi because you just traded for Carson Wentz. You need to protect the quarterback. But since he is not here, I think this is the perfect falling spot for JC Horn, in my opinion. A team that could really, really use some secondary. JC Horn would fit in perfectly and maybe even be a day one number one option.
I've got Indy taking an edge here.
Okay.
And it's an edge that I don't think we said his name yet. I got him taking from Georgia, Azeez Ojulari.
I'm a big fan of his name. Maybe not him as a player, but his name. He's a athletic monster. So I could definitely see Indy taking a guy like that. But I think the holes in the secondary are much more important, in my opinion.
Maybe.
Tennessee, I think we're in the range of back-to-back corners, in my opinion. I'm gonna give him Greg Newsome. This was my original pick for them, and I'm happy that I had him falling a little bit. But Greg Newsome, I think in my mock, I'm gonna have 3 corners straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 straight corners.
Yeah.
So we got 3 straight QBs and 3 straight corners.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Two of the most important positions in football.
Well, I do not have Tennessee taking a cornerback. I've got Tennessee taking Rashad Bateman, wide receiver from Minnesota.
Big fan of his. Big fan of Rashad Bateman. He's a big playmaker. Definitely after the catch playmaker. He's a fast guy, but his footwork is pretty stellar, and he can make moves with the ball in his hands, which I'm a big fan of.
Mm.
But at 23, like I said when I messed up what team he plays for, you cannot go into an NFL season with Bryce Hall as your number one corner. I'm gonna give you Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes is a guy I'm high on for absolutely no reason. I can tell you I have not watched a lot of tape on him. But for the dumbest reason, I always have this hunch about guys that I use in created draft classes in video games.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, listen. I was right about Donovan Mitchell. Before he got drafted, I used him in a user created draft class in 2K, and he was crazy. Before Eric Stokes got drafted, I'm in a 32-man Madden league, and he goes crazy. So you know what? I'm high on him for only and specifically that reason.
Well, Danny, you're right about one thing. You can't go into the season with Bryce Hall being your number one corner, which is why I think he falls one more spot to where you had him, and I think the Jets take Greg Newsome here from Northwestern.
Greg Newsome's a better corner than Eric Stokes, definitely. So if he can fall, that the Jets need a corner here. I think that's something we can definitely agree on. Also, something we can definitely agree on is that the Steelers need offensive line here. As your resident Steelers fan, there is no way, before you even say it, that we take Najee Harris.
I'm just going to hit draft on Najee Harris.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, you just lost James Conner. Who are you going to rely on? Snell?
Anthony McFarland, who I'm not high on. I'm definitely not high on.
You know who you could be high on? Najee Harris.
I am much higher on taking a running back in the second round with better value, like a Michael Carter, like a Javonte Williams. I don't think Javonte Williams will fall to our late pick in the second.
I don't think so either.
But Michael Carter definitely could. I am much higher on taking. I have this pick cemented in my brain. Actually, I don't. I'm going to talk myself into a couple. Starting at offensive tackle, which we have a huge hole at blindside on the left. Like I said before, a big guy that I'm high on is Jaylen Mayfield. I don't think we will draft him, but I think he would be the best fit in our scheme. He is huge. He can run block. He can pass block. He's absolutely amazing. And I think he's going to be one of the best tackles in this draft. However, a guy that I think is going to be much more important to us is Landon Dickerson. He is the best center in this draft. And we have just lost our center, who has not been good for the past few years. His decline was very, very rapid. And as he retires, Marquise Pouncey, as he retires, we are not going to have anybody to fill that hole unless we draft one because we did not sign one.
Mm.
And Landon Dickerson is the best fit for the Steelers right now.
I love Landon Dickerson. I just
The
with what
Gumps, I'm sure the Gumps love
they
Landon
love
Dickerson too.
Landon. Did you watch the national championship
Of course I
between
did. Of
Alabama and Ohio State?
course I did.
Did you see him pick up Nick Saban?
Yes, I did.
I loved that. Um, yeah, I love Landon Dickerson. He definitely is, in my opinion, the best center in the draft. But I don't think he goes in the first round, just because of what every other team needs.
That's fair.
And,
but I think
and what position on the line they need specifically.
I think if any team is going to take a center in the draft, it's going to be the Steelers, especially in the first round. That's what I'm talking about.
Maybe first round, but another team I could see taking a center would be Seattle.
I could see Seattle taking a center, but they don't have a first round pick, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter to today's podcast. Yeah, you had Najee Harris. If you want to give him some love, I can tell you I'm not drafting him in the first round.
I mean, I what is he? Was he the first? Yeah, first running back that I've got going. He's the best in the draft class, in my opinion.
Quite easily, yes.
Yeah.
He's a huge back. He's in my opinion, a guy who has a little bit more speed than Derrick Henry. That's who he reminds me of. He reminds me.
That's what I was just about to say. We've seen success from running backs out of Alabama, and of course, I mean he's. Can we just talk about really quickly how huge he is, Derrick Henry?
Pause.
God damn it!
I love Derrick Henry. As a Steelers fan, I love my big backs, my working backs, not my backs that move around too much. Which, I mean, it's a play style that exists. It's one that is very successful, but obviously a big back, a big bully back is more successful. Derrick Henry just had a 2,000-yard rushing season with no Pro Bowl offensive lineman.
True.
Which is another position that I can see the Titans taking in the first round.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry's a beast. Najee Harris reminds me a lot of Derrick Henry. He reminds me a lot of Jerome Bettis in a way where he does not try to miss guys.
Interesting.
He reminds me of a guy who does not worry about contact, a guy who will carry 3 defenders into the end zone.
Okay.
Got big legs. I love that. Yeah. But on to 25. This one's a tough pick for me because I would love to give Trevor Lawrence a weapon here. And to me,
I don't think so with this pick.
I don't think they do either. I think this is where Trayvon Moehrig goes.
Yep.
Best safety in the draft.
First safety taken, obviously.
First safety taken. He's listed as the 25th best player in the draft, and we take him at 25. I think that's pretty perfect.
It's ironic.
That is very ironic.
Hey, Cleveland's next. This is an interesting pick.
Yeah, you wanna take us into this pick?
I've got Cleveland taking somebody. I mean, I don't really know how many people would think that they would need a linebacker, but I've got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah going here.
Yeah, it's between him and Azeez Ojulari for me. Azeez is still available on my board. I feel like he would fit very well in Cleveland.
If he's still on the board at this point, the only other person I could see Cleveland taking here is Jalen Phillips, because at this point, I still don't have Jalen Phillips being picked.
This is crazy to me, but go off, I guess.
I'm
taking Azeez Ojulari here out of Georgia. Their biggest team need, in my opinion, is an edge rusher. Who do they got? They got Myles Garrett off the edge. Who do they got on the other side? I mean, Olivier Vernon has he was injured a lot of last season, plus he's getting a little older.
Yeah.
I think the Browns have a very, very, very good case to win the division this year, and that hurts me to say as a Steelers fan. But the Browns are the most tolerable team in our division for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate the Ravens. I'm pretty meh on the Bengals, and honestly, Browns fans that I come across are pretty cool. So,
well, speaking of Baltimore, they could make a push for that division win, especially if they take what I think they should take. I think they take another wide receiver.
Okay, who do you think?
I shouldn't say another wide receiver. I think because it's their first pick, I think they take a wide receiver.
Who do you think they take? We could 100% agree. Actually, I don't think we can because I think you have this guy gone.
I've got Elijah Moore here.
I got Rashad Bateman here.
Yeah, Bateman I had to Tennessee.
Yes, you did. Rashad Bateman, in my opinion, is the fourth best receiver in this draft. And that does not mean anything because this is a very, very star-studded receiver draft.
Mm,
Like
very,
realistically, I could
very true.
see like 7 receivers taken in the first round, which is crazy, but I don't think it'll happen. But there's a lot of talent. Speaking of receiver, I have another one going here. Um, I feel like in a season where you just lost your number one receiver, Michael Thomas, to a lot of injuries. And he was slowed down a lot. You could really use a second weapon. I mean, you got Alvin Kamara, who's, don't get me wrong, their best weapon on offense.
Mm.
But I feel like you need a wide receiver to put next to him. And this is where I have Elijah Moore going. Elijah Moore is the best Moore in the draft class. And I don't think at this point that's too hard to say.
I think that New Orleans needs a corner more than they need a wide receiver. I've got the Saints taking Asante Samuel Jr.
Asante Samuel Jr. has a lot of upside. Mostly that his dad is Asante Samuel. I mean, I think that's so ironic that they play the same position. Typically that just doesn't happen.
No.
But Green Bay needs to take a receiver or a corner here. You'd love to give weapons to Aaron Rodgers, but with the receivers left on the board, Kadarius Toney, Terrence Marshall, Rondale Moore, maybe even Amari Rodgers, I don't see any of them going in the first round. Maybe Kadarius Toney. Now maybe talking myself into that a little too much. But this could be Kelvin Joseph's spot. This could be Asante Samuel's spot for me. But you know what? Nah, I'm gonna give it to Kadarius Toney, in my opinion, the best slot receiver in the draft.
I don't think Green Bay takes a wide receiver here. With the 29th overall pick, I've got Roll Tide Christian Barmore.
Mm-hmm. I have him going slightly later.
Slightly with one of the last 3 picks.
Yes.
All right.
But I'm telling you, it's not this one. I feel like the Bills could use an edge. They could use, if Trevon Moehrig was here, I'd think they take him. I don't think they very much need him, but I mean, they got Jordan Poyer and they got, who's their other safety? Dan, bail me out here.
In Buffalo?
In Buffalo.
You're on your own.
Oh, they got Poyer, and Poyer's not even their best safety. My lord.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Bills safety. Sorry that I'm so off my game today. This is very unprofessional of me, and I apologize.
You could just cut this out in editing.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
All right.
Micah Hyde.
Oh, right.
Micah Hyde. Yes. I don't think Moehrig would have a huge spot on the team, but he would be the best player available at this point. I could talk myself into Asante Samuel Jr. here, but I don't think I will. I think I'm going to be giving them Jason Owe out of Penn State.
Hey.
I know you'd like that. You're Penn State boy.
I would.
But you did just talk about him, so I'm not gonna waste too much time on that pick.
Yeah. I also have Buffalo taking an edge here, but you had him going earlier. I think this is where Jalen Phillips goes.
Jalen Phillips is great.
I'm pretty sure you had him going a lot earlier, right?
A lot earlier. Number 11 to the Giants.
Oh, right.
Chiefs need a tackle because they just lost both of them. They need a tackle, or they just need offensive line. They need every position, and I'm gonna have them going. Oh, that's defensive line. I'm stupid. I'm gonna have them taking Jaylen Mayfield. I talked about him a lot. I didn't want him to be a first round pick, especially if he wasn't going to the Steelers, but I think he's the best tackle left on the board. I'm gonna give it to him. I love Jaylen Mayfield. He'll do a lot of better protecting for Patrick Mahomes than he received in the Super Bowl.
We talked about his teammate earlier, but I think at 31 here, roll tide roll, Alex Leatherwood. I think they take take somebody on the offensive line to protect Mahomes, especially after what happened in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just think Jalen Mayfield is a better tackle. than Alex Leatherwood. I feel like Alex Leatherwood would be a good guard. That's just my opinion. Um, but hey, I don't know much. I'm not a professional.
Yeah.
But this is where I have Christian Barmore going. I love me some Christian Barmore. Best D lineman in the draft, in a not very star-studded D lineman draft, but still. But as you guys can see, let's let Dan finish his. Who you got at 32?
Somebody that you probably didn't think was gonna go in the first round. 32, final pick of the first round. I'm assuming it's pronounced Aleem McNeil out of
Aleem
NC
McNeil?
State. Aleem
Yeah.
McNeil.
Yep. Yes. Aleem McNeil's solid. I don't think he's a first round guy though. But this is my full.
That's why I just had him as the last pick in the first round.
Yep.
Even if he's not first round, he could potentially go last overall.
Just throwing him out there.
Yeah.
I got you. But this is my mock draft, as you guys can see at the start. Top 5 is pretty set. I feel like this is gonna be pretty solid. But it gets kind of crazy. I like when it gets kind of crazy in a mock draft, especially. Now we're viewing Dan's. Dan, run us down. See, there's some slight differences.
Yeah.
Like Trey Lance had 4.
Especially only in the beginning, it's very slight. But then as we pick up, we start to really
like Devonte Smith. Kyle Pitts at 13.
Yeah.
Kyle Trask at 15. If Kyle Trask goes in the first round, I'll buy you lunch.
Ooh. Yeah, you want to just Venmo me? We've got 5 guys. We've got 5 guys over here.
Hey, we'll do it when we have our No Shot Sports vlog to a Knicks playoff game.
All right, that works for me. That works for me. As we're finishing up my my first round mock right here, it's got 2 more picks.
Yep.
Kansas City,
Leatherwood and Aleem McNeil. All right, you can stop sharing your screen.
All right.
Any news you want to talk about in your life, real quick, before we wrap it up? I'm getting my first dose of the vaccine tomorrow.
Nice.
Shot it up. Hopefully I don't die or something, but I'm getting paid from work for doing it, so that's cool.
Nice. I mean, second semester wrapping up.
Yep.
I leave Penn State sadly on May 8th.
Not sadly, you're coming home, bro. You get to see my boy.
True, I miss the boys.
Hey, listen. We're gonna have our No Shot Sports vlogs, and I'm telling you guys this. You viewers right now, if you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, however you want to do it, we're gonna have our vlogs, and I want you guys to get excited because we are some crazy people. And by crazy people, I mean we're loud and annoying. Maybe not so much Dan, but definitely me and Matt.
Yeah, I'm quiet.
Dan's a quiet guy, but he's very fun. He also is very knowledgeable. So I want to congratulate him on getting invited to go on another podcast as a guest. Don't remember the name of it, but I know somebody was in his Twitter mentions going like, "Hey, join us on the pod."
Yeah, potentially could be working out something with Blake. I remember I spoke to him a couple weeks ago. I'm not exactly I'm sorry, it wasn't Blake. I mean, shout out to Blake though, because Blake and I were actually just talking. But oh no, it was Blake. I'm sorry, it was Blake. Yeah.
If you guys like fighting, boxing, MMA, stuff like that, we may have something in the works for some guests.
Oh,
I know some people pulling some strings behind the scenes. I'm doing some work.
interesting.
We're definitely gonna have some more guests in the future. I really enjoed that last week.
I just got a DM from somebody today. One of the Gumps. I won't say who it is. But yeah, he was asking like how often we have guests, and I was like, well, we just had our first one, but we don't have any like schedule. Like, let's have a guest every this amount of episodes.
Yeah,
we got to get them on.
Hey, we can get them on. We got our space, bro. It's not like we're a super professional right now.
No.
We could definitely get some.
Not as much as I'd like to, at least.
Oh no. I mean, listen, I would love to do this forever. And hey, everybody starts somewhere. So this is our story right now. Y'all are in the midst of history. But I don't want to keep you guys forever. I don't like it when we run way too long. I mean, I love talking. That's why we talk after. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for watching if you're on YouTube, and listening if you're on any audio platforms. If you're on an audio platform, please rate us 5 stars. It helps with the algorithm and helps us push this out a little bit more. If you're on YouTube, please maybe subscribe, maybe comment if you really enjoy it.
Click the
It's all
bell.
click the bell.
Click the bell. Get notified when we upload our podcast.
Exactly. Follow our Twitters. It's all free. You're not paying to do it. It's just like 2 clicks. We got the links. We got the links in the description.
And keep an eye out for a potential news with Studes, because we've got the Yankees have a 2-game set against Atlanta starting tonight and then tomorrow. So might potentially, because I know a couple of the Gumps are Braves fans, might have to have one hop on if they'd be willing to talk a little bit about that series recap.
Always keep an eye out for news with Studes, because that'll come out whenever he so wants it to. But I just got MLB of the show, so maybe I'll hop on some news with Studes if I learn a little bit about baseball.
Maybe you
Hey.
should watch the series. It's 2 games tonight and tomorrow. Yanks Atlanta.
I will not be doing that. I got a quiz due tonight, man.
All right, yeah. Actually, I have a couple assignments that I did tonight.
Hey, let's get it done.
Yeah.
But please consider helping us with the metrics. It's free. You could take it back at any time. As much as I don't want you to, you could. So maybe help us out now and don't help us out in the future. However you want to do it. I'm not going to fault you. But thank you so much for joining us today. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Peace.